When things don't happen when you want them to, it doesn't mean God said no. It simply means He's preparing something better. Every delay is divine design. You see, the human heart often mistakes silence for absence, but God's silence is never a sign of His distance. It's a signal that He's working behind the scenes, shaping what you asked for into something greater than you imagined. We live in a generation that wants everything fast, instant success, instant love, instant answers. But God doesn't work according to human timelines. He works according to destiny, and destiny takes time. Think about it. Flowers don't bloom out of season. The seed doesn't grow in a day. Even the sun rises slowly. Everything beautiful in this world takes time to unfold. So when God tells you to relax, He's not ignoring you. He's inviting you to trust Him. He's whispering, "Child, I'm arranging things you can't see. I'm protecting you from paths that look good but lead nowhere. I'm saving you for the right time, the right people, and the right purpose." Every moment of waiting has meaning, even if it doesn't make sense right now. Sometimes we rush ahead and try to force what isn't ready. We try to make doors open that God intentionally kept closed. But have you ever considered that maybe His "not yet" is saving you from heartbreak? Maybe that delay is protection in disguise. What if the thing you're begging for isn't denied, it's being developed? God doesn't just want to give you what you want. He wants to make sure you're ready to carry it. Because a blessing too soon becomes a burden too heavy. When God says, "Relax," He's really saying, "You can rest now. I've got this." He's saying, "Stop striving for what's already written with your name on it." You don't have to beg for what's yours. You just have to become the person who can receive it. Think about a child asking for the keys to a car. The parent says no, not because they don't love the child, but because they know it's not time yet. The car is ready, but the child isn't. The same goes for you. The blessing is parked in your future. God is just preparing you to drive it. So don't confuse God's timing with rejection. His delays are not denials, they're development. Every no, every pause, every unanswered prayer is actually God's way of saying, "Wait, I'm building something bigger." Sometimes He slows you down because the path ahead is dangerous. Sometimes He delays you because the people you need aren't in position yet. And sometimes He simply wants you to learn how to rest in faith instead of rushing in fear. Faith grows strongest in waiting. Anyone can trust God when everything is clear, but real faith is born in the dark, when you can't see what's coming next and still choose to believe that it will be good. So instead of asking, "When will it happen?" start asking, "What is God teaching me while I wait?" Because every waiting season has a lesson wrapped inside it. It's in the waiting that you learn patience, humility, and endurance. It's in the waiting that your character catches up to your calling. Sometimes God holds back what you want because He's preparing you for what you need. You may want the blessing, but God wants to give you wisdom first. You may be praying for a relationship, but God is building your identity first. You may be asking for a platform, but God is shaping your integrity first. You see, He's not just preparing the blessing for you. He's preparing you for the blessing. Relax, because when it's time, it won't be hard. You won't have to chase it, manipulate it, or worry about losing it. When God releases what's meant for you, it will flow effortlessly. The right doors will open, the right people will appear, the right moments will align. Everything will make sense. You'll look back and realize that every delay, every disappointment, every detour was part of the plan. What felt like waiting was actually preparation. God is not in a hurry, but He's never late. When He moves perfectly. He's not just thinking about your now, He's thinking about your forever. He sees what you can't see. He knows who's talking behind your back, who's pretending to support you, who's not ready to walk with you into your next chapter. So when He tells you to relax, He's saying, stop trying to control what I've already finished. Stop worrying about what I've already written. There's a peace that comes when you finally trust that His plan is better than yours. You stop forcing, you stop fighting, and you start flowing. You wake up knowing that you don't have to chase destiny. It's chasing you. What's meant for you is not lost. What's promised to you cannot be taken by anyone else. When the timing is right, no human, no obstacle, no delay can stop what God has ordained. So don't rush your story. Don't compare your timing to someone else's. They may be blooming in their season, but your season is coming too. Every flower blooms when it's supposed to. Every promise unfolds right on time. What's for you is still for you, and it's coming together even now. You don't have to chase it. You just have to stay faithful, stay focused, and stay calm. God's timing is not your punishment, it's your protection. You might not understand it now, but one day you'll thank Him for not giving you what you wanted when you wanted it. Because when it finally happens, you'll see that He didn't forget you. He was preparing the stage for your grand reveal. So relax. You are not behind. You are not overlooked. You are right where you need to be for the miracle that's on its way. Keep trusting. Keep breathing. Keep believing. Because when it's your time, nothing can stop it. What's meant for you will find you, no matter how far it has to travel. God's timing is not denial. It's divine design. And when the design is complete, you'll step into blessings so perfectly timed that you'll say, "Now I see why I had to wait." What you are praying for is already on its way to you. The dream, the breakthrough, the opportunity, the love, the peace, it's all moving towards you right now, even if you can't see it yet. We often believe we have to chase after blessings as if they're running away from us. But the truth is, when God planted that desire in your heart, He also set the answer in motion. You are not chasing what's missing. You are aligning with what's coming. The moment you prayed, heaven heard. The moment you believed, things began to shift. God's timing may not match your impatience, but His promises never fail. What you're praying for is looking for you too, and when the time is right, your paths will collide perfectly. You see, God doesn't make you beg for what's meant for you. He shapes you until you're ready for it. That's why you don't need to chase, you just need to become. The love you're praying for will find you when you've healed enough to receive it. The opportunity you've been waiting for will appear when your character matches your calling. The breakthrough you desire will unfold when your faith is stronger than your fear. Everything you're asking for is already assigned to meet you, but only at the level of your readiness. So instead of chasing, focus on growing. Instead of forcing, focus on flowing. Because when you align with purpose, you attract what you used to pursue. It's like magnets when you're aligned with your true calling. Blessings can't help but find you. You don't have to manipulate, control, or stress. You just have to stay faithful and keep your spirit open. The more you chase, the more you send a message to the universe that you don't believe you're ready. But when you rest, when you trust, when you move with calm confidence, you tell heaven, "I know it's mine." And heaven responds to faith, not fear. Fear chases, faith attracts. When you relax and align, you become a magnet for everything God has promised. Many people lose their blessings not because they weren't meant for them, but because they were too busy trying to control how it arrived. You cannot rush God's hand. You can't twist His plan. The path to your promise has already been written. Your only job is to stay faithful and peaceful while He leads you there. Think of it this way: the thing you want most is not lost. It's simply waiting for you to step into the version of yourself that's ready to carry it. God will never deliver something you're not yet equipped to handle. He loves you too much to let your blessings crush you. That's why the waiting is necessary. That's why He keeps whispering, "Relax, it's coming." The blessing you're praying for doesn't need to be chased, it needs to be welcomed. You welcome it by being still, by trusting, by working on the person you're becoming. When you start aligning your energy with faith instead of fear, miracles begin to find you naturally. That's when you start noticing divine coincidences. You meet the right people. Doors open unexpectedly. Opportunities flow without force. That's not luck. That's alignment. That's proof that what you're praying for has been searching for you too. You were never meant to live in anxiety, wondering if you'll miss your moment. What's meant for you cannot miss you. God's plans are not fragile. You won't ruin them by being human. You won't delay them by making mistakes. He can reroute every detour. Even your wrong turns are part of his right path. So stop worrying that you've fallen behind. You're not late. You're being positioned. You're not forgotten. You're being refined. The waiting is not wasted, it's sacred preparation. What if you stopped chasing and started trusting? What if you stopped running and started receiving? The truth is, when you relax and trust the process, you attract everything that belongs to your destiny. The energy of peace is magnetic. The vibration of gratitude pulls miracles closer. When you start saying, "I know it's already mine," you step into the frequency of faith, and that's when things begin to manifest. The house, the opportunity, the love, the healing, the dream, all of it is connected to your belief that it's already on the way. You must understand, what's meant for you will recognize you. You don't have to shout for it. You don't have to fight for it. You don't have to compete for it. It will see your light and move toward it. Just like a lighthouse doesn't chase ships, it stands tall, steady, shining, and the ships find their way home. That's what you must become, a lighthouse. Stand still in your faith, keep shining in your purpose, and everything that's meant for you will find its way to your shore. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So if you want peace, become peace. If you want love, become love. If you want abundance, live with gratitude. When you embody what you desire, you create space for it to arrive. That's why God says, just relax. Because the moment you let go of desperation, you open the door to divine delivery. Desperation closes doors. Peace opens them. The more you trust, the easier it flows. The same God who heard your first prayer has not forgotten it. He's not ignoring you. He's arranging everything to align perfectly. You may not see movement, but trust me, things are shifting behind the scenes. The right people are being positioned, the right doors are being prepared, the right timing is being perfected. Heaven is never late. So stop running in circles trying to make something happen. What's meant for you is not hiding, it's on its way. All you need to do is stay in peace, stay in faith, and stay ready. The blessing is coming. The answer is closer than you think. The very thing you've been praying for is about to cross your path, and when it does, you'll realize it was never about chasing, it was always about aligning. The universe doesn't reward panic, it responds to peace. God doesn't move through fear, He moves through faith. So take a deep breath, let go of control, keep your heart open. Everything you desire is already moving towards you. And when the moment is right, it will show up so effortlessly, so naturally, that you'll say, "Now I understand I didn't have to chase it. I just had to trust Him." A faith is not proven when life is easy. It's proven when nothing makes sense and you still choose to trust. There are moments when God removes every plan, every option, and every backup you thought you needed, not to break you, but to build your faith. When you have nothing left to hold on to but Him, that's when you discover the strength that can only come from stillness. Faith doesn't shout, faith doesn't panic, faith whispers, "God's got me." Even when the storm is raging, when you can't move forward, can't see a way out, can't fix what's broken, faith steps in and says, "Be still, watch what God will do." Because sometimes the greatest act of faith is not fighting harder, it's learning to rest deeper. Stillness is not weakness, it's power. It's the ability to trust that even in silence, God is still speaking. Even in delay, God is still moving. Even in chaos, God is still in control. When you stop running around trying to make everything happen, you give Him room to show His strength. You give Him the space to turn your pain into purpose. He doesn't need your panic, He needs your patience. He doesn't need your control, He needs your confidence. You see, God can part seas, move mountains, and open doors, but He can only do it when you step back long enough to let Him work. We live in a world that glorifies busyness, that tells you to hustle, grind, and never stop moving. But heaven's rhythm is different. God doesn't bless chaos. He blesses calm. He doesn't speak in noise. He speaks in whispers. The enemy wants to keep you restless because he knows that rest is where revelation is born. If he can't destroy your faith, he'll distract your focus. That's why you must learn to be still, not because nothing's happening, but because everything is happening, just not in the way you can see. Sometimes the storm is not around you, it's within you, your thoughts, your fears, your doubts. They create hurricanes in your mind, but the moment you choose stillness, you silence that storm. You remind yourself, my peace is not based on circumstances, it's based on confidence in God. When you stop trying to play God, you allow God to be God. When you stop trying to fix everything, you realize He already has. The battle was never yours to begin with. The breakthrough was never something you could force. It was always His job, not yours. Stillness doesn't mean inactivity. It means inner confidence. It means moving with calm faith instead of desperate fear. It means trusting the process even when the process feels painful. It means believing that even when nothing around you makes sense, everything above you is still in order. You may not see what He's doing, but that doesn't mean He's not doing it. The unseen world is always working on your behalf. God moves in silence before He manifests in sight. What looks like stillness is actually strategy. When you look at the great moments in Scripture, they were born from stillness. Moses stood still before the Red Sea and watched it part. Daniel stayed still in the lion's den and came out untouched. Jesus slept peacefully in the middle of a storm while His disciples panicked. What do they all have in common? Stillness rooted in faith. They knew that the presence of trouble does not mean the absence of God. It means He's about to reveal His power. So when everything feels out of control, that's not your cue to worry. It's your call to worship. It's your sign to stay calm and watch heaven work. Faith is a quiet confidence that says, I don't need to know how, I just need to know who. You don't need to have all the answers because you know the one who does. You don't have to see the outcome to believe in it. You just have to trust that the one who started the story knows exactly how it ends. And here's the truth, it ends well, always, because God doesn't make unfinished promises. If He said He'll do it, He will. If He called you to it, He'll carry you through it. Sometimes He'll even let everything fall apart, not to punish you, but to prove to you that your faith was never in the things, it was in Him. He'll let you lose control so you can see that He never lost it. He'll let you reach the end of yourself so you can finally lean fully on Him. That's what faith in stillness looks like. It's not the absence of motion. It's the presence of peace. It's that deep assurance in your soul that says, even if I don't see it yet, I know it's already handled. When you practice stillness, you make room for miracles. You stop pushing and start allowing. You stop forcing and start flowing. You start realizing that everything that's meant for you will arrive not by stress, but by surrender. That's the paradox of faith. The less you strive, the more God provides. The moment you loosen your grip, things start aligning. The moment you breathe and let go, answers begin to appear. Stillness invites the supernatural. So today, if you're tired, stop running. If you're anxious, stop trying to fix it all. If you're waiting, stop counting the days. Just breathe and be still. Because faith in stillness is not passive, it's powerful. It's standing in the middle of uncertainty and saying, I may not know what's happening, but I know who's in charge. It's resting with assurance that God's silence is not absence, it's alignment. And when He finally moves, it will happen so fast, so beautifully, so perfectly that you'll understand why you had to wait. Be still, trust, let go. God is not asking you to do more. He's asking you to believe deeper. The waves may roar, the winds may blow, but peace is your anchor. Your faith is your strength, and your stillness is your victory. When you stand in stillness, you declare to heaven and hell alike, "My God is in control." And that's when mountains move, storms cease, and miracles begin to unfold before your eyes. Rest does not mean doing nothing. It means doing what you can and trusting God with what you can. It means walking forward in peace instead of panic, moving in faith instead of fear, and understanding that your worth is not measured by your busyness. You don't have to prove your value by constantly grinding, striving, or forcing outcomes. God never designed you to live exhausted, anxious, or burned out from trying to control everything. He designed you to work from rest, not for rest. Rest isn't the reward for faith, it's the expression of it. When you truly trust that God is in control, your soul finds calm even in chaos. Real rest is not about inactivity, it's about inner confidence. It's the deep knowing that even while you sleep, heaven is still working. It's understanding that God's plans don't need your panic to succeed. He's not waiting for you to figure everything out, He's waiting for you to let go. The world may tell you to push harder, but God says, "Be still and know that I am God." That means stop overthinking, stop overworking, stop carrying what was never yours to carry. When you release control, you make space for grace. Rest is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. It's saying, "God, I trust you enough to pause." You don't stop because you've given up, you stop because you know who's in charge. You know that the outcome doesn't depend on your strength alone. You know that what's meant for you won't miss you, even if you take a breath. You stop running because you understand that faith walks differently, it walks in peace. True rest is not sleeping more, it's worrying less. It's living from assurance, not anxiety. When you live from rest, you stop chasing results and start creating from purpose. You don't hustle out of fear of failure, you move from the peace of faith. You stop begging for blessings and start becoming the person blessings are drawn to. Rest allows your spirit to stay aligned, your mind to stay clear, and your actions to flow with divine timing. You stop rushing into opportunities that aren't yours, and you start recognizing the ones that are. You begin to see how God's hand moves subtly, but surely aligning everything perfectly when you stop trying to force the pieces together yourself. The world teaches that rest is for the lazy, but heaven teaches that rest is for the faithful. Even God rested after creation not because He was tired, but to model the rhythm of trust. There's a time to plant, a time to work, and a time to simply let the seeds grow. You can water and nurture, but you can't make it rain. That's God's job. Your role is obedience, not obsession. When you learn this truth, peace floods your heart. You realize that you don't need to control every outcome to see success. You just need to stay faithful and peaceful because stress never speeds up God's timing. It only clouds your spirit. When you rest in faith, you also see clearer. You stop confusing motion with progress. You stop wasting energy chasing validation from people who can't see your vision. You stop fighting battles that God already won. Rest sharpens your discernment. It gives you spiritual clarity. It opens your ears to divine whispers that get drowned out by noise. Sometimes God isn't silent, you're just too loud inside to hear Him. The more you rest, the clearer His voice becomes. That's why rest is not idleness, it's intimacy, it's connection. It's learning to move with divine rhythm instead of human rush. Rest means you trust God's promises enough to stop panicking about their delivery. You may not know how He'll do it, but you know He will. That's the essence of faith, not needing the details, only the assurance. The person who lives in rest walks differently. They don't crumble under pressure because their foundation is peace. They don't lose sleep over outcomes because they know the author has already finished the story. When you live from rest, you walk with quiet power, a strength that confuses those who live in fear. Every blessing flows from rest, not restlessness. Love flows when you rest in who you are. Creativity flows when your mind is still. Wisdom comes when your spirit is calm. Even miracles move faster when your heart stops striving. God's power doesn't require your pressure, it responds to your peace. When you trust Him fully, doors open that hustle could never force. You begin to attract the very things you were chasing. The job, the opportunity, the peace, the purpose, they all begin to align with ease because you are finally aligned with grace. Rest is not running away from responsibility. It's running toward God's reliability. It's knowing that you can do your part faithfully and let Him handle the rest. It's working hard but never worrying hard. It's showing up, but without desperation. It's giving your best effort and leaving the results in God's hands. You don't have to micromanage the universe. Your Creator already has the blueprint. You don't need to stress about tomorrow. The one who holds tomorrow has already walked ahead of you. So when God says rest, He's not telling you to quit, He's telling you to trust. He's inviting you into a supernatural rhythm where peace becomes your power. You can still dream, still work, still move, but do it from a calm, confident heart. That's where miracles happen. That's where breakthroughs unfold. Because faith doesn't operate in panic, it operates in peace. The moment you learn to rest, life begins to flow differently. You stop fearing delays because you realize they're part of divine design. You stop fighting for things that aren't yours and start flourishing in what is. You stop striving for approval and start standing in assurance. Rest becomes your superpower. It's the quiet confidence that says, I may not know how, but I know who. And that knowing changes everything. So breathe, loosen your grip. Stop trying to control the uncontrollable. You are not falling behind. You are flowing in divine timing. You don't need to rush. You just need to rest. Because when you rest in God, you're not standing still, you're standing strong. You're not doing nothing, you're allowing everything to come together as it should. And when it finally does, you'll look back and realize the peace you found in resting was the power that carried you to your promise. When God says, just relax, everything will come to you, He's not telling you to stop dreaming, He's telling you to stop doubting. He's reminding you that what's yours can never miss you. The blessing that has your name on it doesn't need chasing, it needs preparation. It's not hiding from you, it's waiting for you to become the person ready to receive it. Life is not about frantic pursuit, it's about divine alignment. Everything that is meant for you is already written into your destiny. The delay is not denial, it's development. God is shaping you, refining you, and strengthening your character so when the blessing arrives, you can carry it with grace and not lose it through haste. You see, everything in the universe operates on divine timing. The stars don't rush to shine, the sun doesn't race to rise. Even nature understands the rhythm of patience, but humans, we want instant results, immediate answers, quick breakthroughs. Yet God's process is never rushed because His promises are never random. He knows exactly when you're ready for what you're praying for. He's not making you wait to punish you, He's making you wait to prepare you. The waiting season is where strength is built, faith is deepened, and vision becomes clear. So if it hasn't come yet, it's because it's not time yet. Trust that when it's time, nothing can stop it. The truth is, everything you've been asking for is already on its way, the peace, the opportunity, the love, the abundance. It's all aligning behind the scenes. What looks like delay is divine design. God's silence doesn't mean absence. It means orchestration. He's aligning people, places, and paths in your favor. The right door won't open until you're standing at the right level. The right relationship won't appear until you've healed from the wrong ones. The right opportunity won't show up until your character matches your calling. So instead of worrying, prepare. Instead of doubting, develop. Because while you're growing, God is organizing everything you'll need when the time comes. Relaxing doesn't mean giving up, it means letting go of the illusion that you're in control. It's understanding that faith is not about forcing outcomes, it's about flowing with divine order. You can't force what's not yours, and you can't lose what is. What God has written for you is protected by His promise. No human hand can block it, no mistake can cancel it, and no delay can destroy it. The moment you stop fighting against the current and start trusting the flow, everything begins to align naturally. Life becomes lighter, not because the path gets easier, but because your heart gets stronger. The greatest power you can hold is calmness in chaos. The moment you stop reacting to everything is the moment you start mastering your energy. Anxiety pushes blessings away, peace attracts them. When your spirit is relaxed, you become magnetic. Ideas flow, opportunities find you. People are drawn to your peace because peace is rare in a world full of panic. That's why God wants you to relax, because when you do, you allow miracles to manifest. You give Him room to move. You stop blocking your own blessings with stress and start allowing divine flow to take its course. You've got to understand that you're not waiting for blessings, blessings are waiting for you to align. The things you've prayed for are not lost, they're maturing. Just like fruit takes time to ripen, so do your blessings. If you grab them too early, they'll be bitter, but if you wait with faith, they'll be sweet. So instead of asking, when will it happen? Start saying, I'm ready when you are, God. That's not resignation, that's surrender. That's the ultimate expression of trust. Because faith is not proven by what you can control, it's proven by how well you can let go. Everything you desire already exists in the unseen. The peace, the success, the love, it's all prepared. But the key that unlocks it is relaxation rooted in trust. The moment you stop panicking, you open the door for manifestation. You move from tension to flow, from doubt to certainty. You begin to attract instead of chase. You stop praying in fear and start praying in confidence. And when you move in that energy, everything begins to come together effortlessly. What used to feel hard starts to happen easily because now you're moving with divine rhythm, not human rush. Look back at your life. How many things did you stress about that eventually worked out anyway? How many times did you think you lost, only to find out God had something better? That's proof that everything does come to you, just not always in the way you expect. So why waste energy worrying when you can walk in peace? The same God who handled your past is handling your future. He hasn't brought you this far to abandon you now. His word still stands. Be still. Relax, because the plan is working, even when you can't see it. God's timing is never late. When it happens, it'll happen suddenly. What took years to prepare can manifest in a moment. That's why He tells you to relax, because when it's your season, no force can stop it. You won't have to chase the right things. They'll recognize you by your peace, your growth, and your faith. Doors will open without you knocking. Opportunities will unfold without you forcing. Everything will start falling into place not by accident, but by alignment. So breathe, trust, let go. Stop trying to rush what heaven has already written. You're not behind, you're exactly where you need to be. The waiting is not wasted, it's working. Every delay is developing you. Every challenge is shaping you. Every quiet moment is preparing you for the loud blessings that are on their way. Don't fight the flow, trust it. Because when you truly relax in faith, everything that's meant for you starts running toward you effortlessly, divinely, perfectly. God's promise is clear, just relax. Everything will come to you. And it will not by chance, but by His divine design. All you have to do is keep your heart peaceful, your mind focused, and your spirit aligned. Because when your energy matches your destiny, the universe has no choice but to deliver. What's meant for you will find you, and when it does, it will come with ease, with grace, and with glory. So rest in that truth. You don't have to chase, you just have to trust. Everything is coming, everything is aligning, everything is already yours.